Have you ever wondered what truly happens after we leave this world? Can your actions today shape your destiny tomorrow in ways you cannot even imagine? Is there someone who silently watches, measures and balances every choice you make, guiding your soul toward justice and truth? Today, we are going to explore the fascinating world of God Yama, the Hindu god who judges souls after death. A being who is not frightening but deeply fair, compassionate, and wise. His story is not just a tale from ancient times, it is a mirror for our own lives, showing us the power of our choices, the ripple of our actions, and the lessons hidden in every challenge we face. Imagine a man who cheats in business and thinks no one notices, only to face unexpected problems later that teach him honesty matters more than short-term gain. Think of a young student who procrastinates or lies, facing the consequences not to punish, but to show the value of responsibility. Yama's role is like that silent guide or mentor we all wish we had, a reminder that life is not random and every action leaves an imprint on our destiny. Through his stories, we learn about karma, the invisible law of cause and effect, the lessons in hardship, and the chance for redemption when we face our mistakes with courage. In this video, we will uncover real-life examples, inspiring stories, and deep insights from Yama's teachings, showing how his wisdom can transform the way we live every day. Stay with us till the end, because these lessons can guide you toward a life full of purpose, strength, and peace. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you never miss more stories that inspire your heart and mind. God Yama in Hindu mythology is known as the god of death and the ultimate judge of souls. But Yama is not a figure to fear. He is fair, wise, and deeply compassionate, guiding each soul according to its actions in life. Think of him as a teacher who helps us learn lessons through experiences, someone who shows the importance of our choices and the impact they have on our destiny. Just as a mentor in life gives advice, points out mistakes, and encourages growth, Yama observes our deeds and decisions, gently teaching the truth of cause and effect. In everyday life, we can see reflections of Yama's role. A merchant in ancient stories might cheat a customer, thinking no one notices. But soon, he faces difficulties. His business fails, or he loses trust in his community. These consequences are not punishments in the cruel sense. They are lessons meant to show the value of honesty and integrity. Similarly, a student who procrastinates or ignores responsibilities often experiences stress, failure, or missed opportunities, reminding us that our actions always have results. Yama's guidance teaches us to pay attention to our choices and take responsibility for them. Yama also symbolizes the chance for self-reflection. When we understand that life responds to our actions, we begin to live with awareness, making better decisions, and treating others with kindness. Every small action, whether helping a neighbor, speaking the truth, or showing patience, has a ripple effect on our lives and those around us. By seeing Yama as a compassionate guide, rather than a terrifying judge, we realize that life itself is an opportunity to grow, learn, and correct our mistakes before it is too late. The wisdom of Yama reminds us that accountability is not a burden, but a path to freedom. When we accept responsibility for our actions and understand the connection between choice and outcome, we become stronger, wiser, and more capable of shaping our own destiny. His lessons encourage us to live consciously, act ethically, and embrace life fully, knowing that every good action strengthens our soul and every mistake is a chance to learn and grow. Yama's story inspires us to lead a life of awareness, courage, and purpose, showing that the journey of life is a powerful teacher if we are willing to listen. Karma is one of the most important lessons we can learn from God Yama. It is the natural law that every action we take produces results, whether good or bad. Karma is like planting seeds. If you plant seeds of kindness, honesty, and hard work, the fruits that grow will be positive. If you plant seeds of lies, cruelty, or laziness, the results will reflect those actions. Yama, as the judge of souls, shows us that nothing we do is ever wasted. Every choice, every word, and every action leaves an imprint on our life and the world around us, shaping our destiny in ways we often do not notice at first. Imagine a small village teacher who goes out of his way to help students understand difficult lessons. He spends extra hours preparing, encourages children, and never gives up on them. Later, when this teacher faces personal problems, the same students and their families return the favor, supporting him in ways he could never have predicted. This is karma in action. What we put out into the world comes back to us. It is not instant, and it does not always appear in ways we expect, but it is constant and reliable. Karma is not about punishment or reward. It is about balance, fairness, and natural consequences. Understanding this law helps us live consciously and make choices that benefit not only ourselves, but also those around us. Yama's lessons about karma also encourage patience and perseverance. When we face difficulties, it is easy to feel life is unfair. But knowing that our actions create patterns helps us see that these hardships are connected to earlier deeds, either ours or others, and they give us opportunities to learn and grow. Small acts of honesty, kindness, or courage can ripple through our life, creating unexpected benefits later. By living with awareness of karma, we can take control of our destiny in subtle but powerful ways, knowing that every positive step matters and that mistakes are lessons, not permanent setbacks. Through Yama and the law of karma, we understand that life is deeply connected, and every action has meaning. By choosing wisely and acting with care, we create a life of purpose, balance, and fulfillment. Karma is the silent teacher that guides us toward living fully, responsibly, and with compassion. Life is full of challenges, and one of the most important lessons from God Yama is that hardships are not punishments, but opportunities to learn and grow. Yama teaches us that every difficulty we face has a lesson hidden within it, and every problem is a chance to discover our inner strength. When we face failure, loss, or disappointment, it is easy to feel discouraged. But Yama's wisdom reminds us that these experiences are mirrors, showing us who we really are and what we are capable of achieving. Challenges test our courage, patience, and perseverance, shaping us into stronger and wiser individuals. Consider the story of a young athlete who trains for years, only to lose a critical competition. At first, he feels defeated and questions his abilities, but with determination, he studies his mistakes, practices harder, and learns to manage his emotions. Later, he competes again and wins because he used the lessons from his previous failures to improve. This is exactly what Yama represents. Life is a teacher, and our setbacks are part of the curriculum. Facing adversity with courage allows us to grow, just as a tree becomes stronger when it withstands storms. Every challenge also teaches us valuable skills that cannot be learned otherwise. For example, a single mother struggling to support her family might feel overwhelmed, but in the process, she discovers resourcefulness, patience, and the ability to inspire her children. These qualities only emerge when life tests us, and Yama's guidance reminds us that these tests are part of the natural balance of life. By facing difficulties head-on, reflecting on our mistakes, and taking responsibility for our actions, we transform challenges into stepping stones for personal growth. Yama's lessons also encourage us to see problems as temporary and manageable rather than as permanent punishments. Every obstacle carries a hidden opportunity for learning, and every failure is a chance to prepare for future success. When we adopt this mindset, life becomes less frightening and more meaningful, and we understand that challenges are part of the journey rather than the end of it. By embracing adversity with courage, responsibility, and faith, we align ourselves with the wisdom of Yama, learning to live fully and grow stronger with each test that life presents. Making mistakes is a natural part of being human, and God Yama's lessons remind us that errors are not signs of failure, but opportunities to learn and grow. Every action we take leaves a mark on our life, and sometimes we make choices that later cause problems. Yama shows us that judgment is not about punishment, but about understanding the results of our actions and guiding us toward improvement. By recognizing our mistakes, reflecting on them honestly, and taking steps to change, we can transform failures into stepping stones for success. Consider the story of a young professional who, in a moment of fear, cheated during an important exam. At first, it seemed like a quick solution, but the consequences soon followed. He was caught and felt the weight of guilt and shame. Instead of giving up, he decided to take responsibility for his actions. He studied harder, corrected his approach, and eventually passed the exam with full integrity. This experience taught him the importance of honesty, patience, and personal growth. Yama's teachings remind us that redemption is always possible if we are willing to face our mistakes and learn from them. Mistakes also teach us humility and self-awareness, which are essential for building meaningful relationships and achieving long-term success. For example, a musician who repeatedly fails auditions might feel discouraged, but each failed attempt gives him insight into his weaknesses and helps him refine his skills. Over time, the lessons learned from these setbacks allow him to perform with confidence and excellence. Yama's wisdom emphasizes that setbacks are not endings. They are opportunities to adapt, improve, and prepare for better outcomes. The power to change lies in our willingness to reflect and act. Yama encourages us to take accountability seriously, not with fear, but with hope and determination. By facing our errors, learning from them, and choosing better paths, we develop resilience, strength, and courage. Every mistake holds a lesson, and every lesson brings the chance for redemption. Through this process, we grow into better versions of ourselves, and our lives become more aligned with truth, fairness, and purpose. Yama teaches us that the journey of transformation is always open, and no mistake is too great to prevent positive change. Life is a series of choices, and God Yama teaches us that the decisions we make every day shape our destiny in powerful ways. Nothing in life happens randomly. Every word we speak, every action we take, and every decision we make creates a ripple that affects not only our own life, but also the lives of others. Yama's role as the judge of souls reminds us that accountability is part of living consciously, and that understanding the consequences of our choices gives us the power to create a meaningful life. Consider the story of a young student faced with a difficult choice during exams. He could cheat and pass easily, or he could study diligently and rely on his own efforts. He chose honesty and worked hard, even though it meant more struggle. Later, he was rewarded not only with good grades, but also with respect from teachers and peers, opportunities for scholarships, and a confidence that came from knowing he had acted with integrity. This example shows that choices may seem small in the moment, but can shape the course of our lives in ways we cannot immediately see. Yama's lessons emphasize that our destiny is not fixed. It is responsive to the way we live each day. Every decision also teaches us responsibility and foresight. A young entrepreneur deciding to treat employees fairly and build a business with integrity may face short-term challenges, but over time, loyalty, trust, and reputation grow, leading to long-term success. By acting consciously and considering the impact of our choices, we align ourselves with the natural order that Yama represents. Life rewards consistency, courage, and mindfulness in decision-making. Yama's teachings encourage us to live with awareness and purpose. When we take responsibility for our choices, we gain freedom rather than feel burdened. Each decision, whether big or small, carries the potential to create positive change, strengthen our character, and build a life of fulfillment. Understanding this empowers us to act with care, kindness, and courage, knowing that we are the architects of our own destiny. Yama's wisdom inspires us to make conscious choices every day, transforming our life into a journey of growth, learning, and meaningful achievement. One of the most powerful lessons from God Yama is that accepting responsibility for our actions brings true peace to the mind and heart. Yama is not a god of fear, but a guide, showing us that understanding the results of our choices can free us from regret and worry. Accountability is not a punishment. It is a path to inner calm and clarity. When we acknowledge our mistakes, face our responsibilities, and take steps to correct them, we create harmony within ourselves and with the world around us. Consider the story of a parent who realizes that their strictness and impatience have caused tension in the family. At first, they feel guilty and worried, fearing the relationship cannot be repaired. But when they openly acknowledge their mistakes, apologize sincerely, and change their behavior, the family begins to heal. This process not only strengthens bonds, but also gives the parent a sense of peace and confidence, showing that accountability brings relief rather than burden. Yama's wisdom reminds us that the more we accept responsibility, the more control and clarity we gain over our lives. Accountability also improves our decisions and actions. When we take time to reflect on our daily choices, we become more aware of patterns in our behavior, learning from mistakes before they become larger problems. Simple actions like journaling, meditating, or reviewing decisions at the end of the day can help us understand where we went wrong and how we can do better. By practicing self-reflection, we align ourselves with Yama's guidance, turning mistakes into lessons and challenges into opportunities for growth. The benefits of accountability extend beyond the individual. A community leader who admits a poor decision and works to correct it gains trust and respect from those around them. People are inspired by honesty, courage, and responsibility, which creates harmony and cooperation in families, workplaces, and communities. Yama teaches that living with awareness and accepting the consequences of our actions reduces fear and regret while strengthening relationships, improving judgment, and creating lasting peace. When we embrace accountability, we not only honor ourselves, but also build a life that is balanced, meaningful, and aligned with truth. Yama's lessons remind us that peace is not the absence of mistakes, but the presence of awareness, responsibility, and the courage to make things right. God Yama's teachings are not just about death or judgment. They are a guide for how we can live each day with purpose, awareness, and courage. By understanding his lessons, we learn that life responds to our actions, our choices shape our destiny, and every moment is an opportunity to grow. Yama inspires us to act with honesty, integrity, and compassion, showing that the way we live now determines the harmony and success of our future. Take, for example, a young volunteer in a struggling neighborhood. She faces many obstacles: lack of resources, skepticism from others, and personal doubts. But she continues to help children, organize community projects, and spread kindness. Over time, her small efforts create lasting positive change in her community. This story reflects Yama's message. Even small, consistent actions matter, and living with awareness and purpose can transform the lives of ourselves and others. Every day presents opportunities to act with integrity, choosing honesty over shortcuts, helping others without expecting a reward, and reflecting on our actions allows us to stay aligned with Yama's wisdom. When mistakes happen, we have the chance to learn and correct our paths. Accountability, conscious decision-making, and understanding the ripple effects of our actions are all part of this journey. By practicing these principles, we not only improve ourselves, but also inspire those around us, creating a world that reflects fairness, kindness, and balance. Yama's lessons also remind us to live courageously, even in the face of challenges. Life will always present difficulties, but when we make conscious choices, accept responsibility, and act ethically, we navigate hardships with grace and strength. Every action, every decision, and every effort we make builds our destiny, showing that our lives are not controlled by chance, but by conscious, thoughtful living. By integrating Yama's teachings into our daily life, we create a life of purpose, joy, and inner peace. We see that life is a journey of learning, growth, and positive impact. Every act of kindness, every effort to improve, and every moment of reflection aligns us with the deeper truths of existence. Living inspired by Yama is about becoming the best version of ourselves, shaping our destiny with courage, compassion, and conscious action, and leaving a legacy of goodness that continues beyond our lifetime. God Yama's teachings offer a clear and powerful guide for how we can live our lives with purpose, responsibility, and courage. His lessons remind us that every choice we make has consequences, every action we take leaves an impact, and every mistake is an opportunity to learn and grow. Life is not random, and the challenges, successes, and struggles we face are all part of a larger plan that teaches us how to become stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. By understanding the wisdom of Yama, we can see that accountability is not something to fear, but a way to gain peace, clarity, and control over our own destiny. When we face difficulties, reflect on our mistakes, or make conscious choices, we shape not only our own lives, but also the lives of those around us. Small acts of kindness, honesty, and patience can create ripples that bring unexpected joy and opportunities. Challenges and failures are not the end. They are lessons that help us grow, prepare for future success, and become better versions of ourselves. By taking responsibility, embracing reflection, and making mindful decisions, we learn to live in harmony with our own values and the natural order of life that Yama represents. Ultimately, living inspired by Yama means choosing to act with integrity, compassion, and awareness every day. It means understanding that life is a journey of growth, learning, and transformation, where every experience, whether good or bad, carries meaning and purpose. By applying these lessons, we can create a life full of balance, peace, and fulfillment, leaving a positive impact on our families, communities, and the world. Remember, your choices today shape your destiny tomorrow, and every moment is an opportunity to live with courage, kindness, and conscious purpose.